All right, fans, as promised, coming to us live from Davis Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you from OVW, it's Cash Flow. How's
That's
it going?
right. It's the money man, Edward. It's the money man. Ease and Bees podcast. Cash flow is in the house.
How's it going, my man? You getting ready for the Rumble?
I'm always getting ready. The Rumble happens to come through, but this is an extra special Rumble. This Rumble will determine the OVW heavyweight champion. And let's be honest, I'm 6'4". I'm 330 pounds. What better heavyweight is there out there?
Hey, that sounds good to me. I mean, I'd be interested to see you with the belt around your waist. I can't wait. Tomorrow night, Davis Arena, right where you're standing, right?
Right here where I'm standing, as you
Hey,
can see.
Cash Flow, no better time than now. How about that, right?
No better time than now.
All right, man. Well, welcome to the E's and B's podcast. As we do here on the meat segment on the E's and B's, I run through a few questions, touch a little bit about your life, maybe your wrestling career, and also ask you some silly questions. Man, are you ready to get this thing started?
Let's get it started, man. What do you got for me today?
All right, Cash Flow. Starting right off here, my man. Tell my listeners out there just a little bit about yourself and how you got started in wrestling.
Uh, well, there's not really a little bit to it. Can I call you Ed?
You can call me Ed, Eddie, Edward, whatever you want, brother.
Well, let me tell you something, Eddie. My journey, me in wrestling is not a short one, and half hour, an hour, hour and a half would not do it any justice. Let's just say I've been doing this since the mid '90s. Back when wrestling was still kind of a closed door. You know, they were just in a transition. It was still kind of a closed door business, and not anybody could get in. You had to tough your way in. I made it through that. I've been doing it ever since. And I come in doing this just like any other guy out there that happens to be doing this. You know, you start off as a fan, you believed in what you saw, and you went out. And if you wanted to be one, you went out and you made your opportunities. So that's what I did.
Nice, nice. And as we spoke before prior, you're also doing a little bit of teaching as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I teach the beginners wrestling class for the Al Snow Wrestling Academy, and I will plug this right here. If you know, one of the greatest minds in the business, if you're looking to get into this business, the best way to get into professional wrestling is to have a good foundation. And there is no better foundation than the Al Snow Wrestling Academy. He has academies all over in many, many different countries, and you know, he's one of the best teachers out there. Anybody that's been around in wrestling can tell you that Al Snow is top notch and one of the best teachers out there.
Absolutely. Here at E's and B's, we support him 100%. Of course, out here in Colorado, he's got a camp out here. In
Yeah,
Utah, we push them guys too. But I agree 100% with you, Cashflow. The best camp around. And if you're gonna get started, you need to see either you guys out there on the East Coast or maybe come out here on the West Coast and see what's going on at Rocky Mountain Pro. Hey, keeping things rolling as we're staying on the wrestling kind of topic. Cashflow, who's your favorite wrestler all time?
uh, you know, it really depends on eras. You know, when I first started, you know, the believability was top notch. So when I first started, you know, Manny Fernandez, Wahoo McDaniel, Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen, you know, those bruiser type, you know, guys that really pulled me in and wanted to be wrestling. They told the stories that, you know, there's no playing games in this. And,
Yes.
you know, they were tough guys to the core. And that's what really got me started. You know, as I growed a little bit, you know, got to be a bigger cash guy, you know, Flair, Blanchard, Arn. You know, I was more of a Southern guy. I wasn't, you know, so much of a Northern guy until, you know, of course, Northern's all there was.
Right, right.
You know, but, you know, I still, you know, my daughter and my kids watch wrestling. So I still watch wrestling to this day. And of course, you know, I watch all types of wrestling. You know, I even go back to the 70s and 80s and still watch some of that. So, you know, it just depends on what era it is. You know, I'm a big Flair guy. I'm a big Dusty guy. Who's not? You know, right?
Gotcha. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. The Pioneers, like you said, the Wahoos and all those. You can't go wrong with any of those selections. I agree. Same way. I'm an 80s kid. I grew
yeah,
up on Macho Man. I grew now to love like the Jerichos and stuff like that. It just changes in time. I get it. But you know, some people
Macho
they get
talk
stuck on
about,
that one guy, and that's all they like.
you talk about Macho Man, he did his, he probably did his best work, in the Fed up there. But his stuff before then, working for his dad, Angelo,
Yes, yes.
that's some good stuff, and that really set the tone for what he was going to do the rest of his career. So
Yeah, I mean, it brought light right to him. You know, obviously working for his dad, but yeah, like you said, that's where you start. Kind of like what we're talking here with you at OVW. You know, you got to start somewhere. We're talking to Cash Flow here on the E's and B's podcast, keeping things rolling. Let's switch gears for you, Cash Flow. Check this out. Me and you, we're walking into Barnes and Nobles tomorrow. We're gonna pick up the book about your life. What's the name of it and why?
I'm not so sure I could give you a name here on the air there.
Oh yeah, come on now.
Hey, a friend of mine once told me, he said, Cash, you're fun to have around. You're a wrestler's wrestler. And anybody that knows me, I've spent a lot of time on the road, and, with what comes with the road is a lot of stuff that you can talk, and not necessarily everybody will believe you. What would the name of the book be? Welcome to my shop, probably.
Okay. We'll keep it right there. Welcome to my shop. That's a good one. I figured I'd throw a little curveball at you. All right, how about this one? You can go to breakfast with any wrestler or wrestling personality. Who would it be, and what are you guys having?
Any wrestler, alive or dead?
Yeah, live or dead.
Well, I would probably go to breakfast. I'd probably go eat breakfast with Dusty.
Yeah, that's a good pick, man.
And what would we have?
His brain, yeah.
We would have.
What would you have? What would you have?
We would have a big old fat, runny, juicy steak with about 6 bowls of hot butter rolls over here on the side, with some mashed potatoes and runny gravy over here.
All right, Southern breakfast. I can agree with that myself, for sure.
Funky baby.
All right, as we're winding things down here, Cashflow, I've got a couple more left for you, and then I'll turn the table over to you. This is kind of a silly one. This is one my daughter loves. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I'm a strength guy. I'm actually, in all honesty, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I am a comic book type of guy. I grew up on comic books. I collect comic books. I haven't collected in quite a while, but I still have a large collection, and I'm an Incredible Hulk guy. Okay. I always have been, hence the green. I'm a gym rat, so the stronger I am, the better I am, and it would be super strength. You can do anything with strength. Okay. Anything at all. Anything at all.
That sounds like a good one. I do agree. I mean, like you said, you can't go wrong with strength.
No.
So
it's simple, but I can make it work.
Exactly. Simple sometimes is better, right?
Absolutely.
All right, my man. The last thing I got for you, and then I'll turn it over to you. What's on your top 3 podcast list right now that you're listening to in 2021?
Well, I've listened to various, Pritchard, Cornette. My buddy's got a podcast. It's a Ringside podcast. But, I'm going to throw wrestling podcasts out there. My favorite podcast to listen to, just because I'm a horror fan as well, is the No Sleep podcast.
Oh, okay. There's a good one.
If you've never listened to it, they tell it's more of a audio movie type of podcast. They tell spooky, creepy stories, and it hooks me in every time. Like I said, I'm a horror fan.
We are too. We're murder mystery fans. We got the game they send to you every month, and we're learning about a killer right now as we speak. So my wife will probably be checking that out, I'm sure.
The No Sleep podcast, and it is, and there's, I think, 14, 15 seasons.
Oh wow!
So there's a lot of content on there, and there's some stuff on there to give you the willies. So
well, that's cool. Well, hopefully going forward,
that's probably my number one, Eddie. I don't like I said, man, there is only so many hours in the day. If I had 28 hours in the day, I'd probably be okay.
I hear you on that. Well, hopefully going forward in the future, you can maybe add the E's and B's to that list. Maybe don't have to be your top one, but maybe in the future we'll add it to you. Well, man, it's been an honor and a pleasure. But before I let you go, Cashflow, I want to turn the floor over to you. I want to know, is there anything you got to ask old Eddie B? And also go ahead and promote anything you got to tell my fans out there that's going on maybe this weekend or in the future.
Eddie, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate your fans listening. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Sorry it took this long. We had some things going on, but
right.
I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate the fans listening. As far as promotion goes, need I say more? January 9th, this Saturday.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
It's Saturday night, January 9th, the OVW Nightmare Rumble. Huge implications. The winner gets the OVW Heavyweight Championship and a shot at Mr. Spectacular Jesse Godderz. And as a message to you, Jesse Godderz, you better keep your eye out, because not only am I in the Nightmare Rumble, but the rest of my brethren in the Legacy of Brutality is, and we will accept nothing less in 2021 than all the gold. That includes your national championship, Mr. Spectacular. If you need any good cash merch, if you need any good LOB merch, you can go to my website, chopshopwrestling.com. You can find me on all the social medias, Facebook at I Am Cashflow, Twitter at Cash's Chop Shop, Instagram at Cash KY. You can find me on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, but you can also get through that to my website, Chop Shop Wrestling. I've got everything on there. If any of your listeners want to just check me out, I've got wrestling matches for me going back to the mid-90s. Actually, there's a wrestling match on there, I think, with me and CM Punk, me and Chris Hero, Colt Cabana. You can find all that stuff on there. So give it a look. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff too now.
Awesome, Cashflow. Like I said, honor and a pleasure. Everybody out there, make sure you check him out. We'll be pulling for you tomorrow night, my man.
Hey,
once again.
Spoiler here, Eddie. You're looking at the new OVW champion. Spoiler.
I can't wait. I hope so. And if so, we'll talk very soon, my man. Well, everybody, that's Cashflow from OVW.